Welcome to Student Connections, where students connect with their community.
Welcome to Student Connections. I'm Brooke Booms, and joining me today is Mr. Randy Fernandez, Marysville City Manager. Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Brooke.
Me too. You've recently been promoted to the position as City Manager. What are your main responsibilities and your job, and how does this differ from your previous position?
Well, first of all, I'm very fortunate that the mayor and council put the faith in me to be their next city manager. It's been a dream of mine. It's been a long-term goal, so I'm very appreciative. And the staff and I work very hard for the residents of Marysville. The main job as city manager is to oversee the day-to-day operations of the city of Marysville. We have about 6 or 7 different departments. Budgets are always a key, keeping the city in good financial shape. We're accountable to the mayor and council and all the residents. So that's a tremendous amount of responsibility, and we always want to hold the residents in our trust. I guess as the assistant city manager and economic development director, it was kind of like the number 2 person, so to speak. So now I answer directly to the mayor and council. So that responsibility kind of falls on me. Also, we're not replacing the assistant position. Mm-hmm. So I'll retain the economic development job as well. That's something that I enjoy doing, attracting businesses and things of that nature.
And what other departments or positions helps your job?
Well, again, the main duty of any city is to provide public safety. So we have a police department and a fire department that last year we kind of put together under one department, Director of Public Safety. We have the Department of Public Works that takes care of roads and things of that nature. We've got the water plant, recreation, the finance department. So, everyone works very hard, again, as I mentioned, for our residents.
And can you tell us how many employees does the city employ?
Well, I have about 58, give or take, full-time employees. And then depending on the time of the year, if we get into the summer, we might have up to almost 90 part-time employees. Those employees are normally hired through the rec department, DPW, down at the golf course, things of that nature.
Now, everyone would agree that this has been a rough winter. How does this winter affect the city's budget?
Well, it has been a rough winter. In fact, finally the sun's out today, but it's affected a little bit. We've had to buy more salt for the roads. DPW budget is about 82% of the budget this year, but again, we've still got 4 months to go. So it's going to be tight. Budgets are always something that we worry about, but it's an unforeseen thing. Next year we might get hardly any snow. This year we had an abundance, and hopefully we're done.
Yeah. Will there need to be any additional funding to the budget for the roads and repairs in the spring and summer?
Well, hope not. Again, I mentioned DPW is already at 82%, so they're getting close. But Barry Kreiner, who heads up our DPW staff, does a great job, him and his guys. So we've had staff meetings regularly, and everybody knows to watch their budget. So we'll do what we can. But I think if we are over budget in that department, I think we can explain it between the overtime and the buying of the salt.
And how would we get the money for these repairs?
Well, again, a lot of it's budgeted for. Most of the money that comes in the city is tax dollars. We also try to go over as many grants as we can. A lot of grants, there's only a 20% match or so that allows us to fix the waterfront like we've been doing and fix some roads. When you can get anything at 20 cents on the dollar, we'll take advantage of it.
The City Council enacted a snow shoveling ordinance for residents' sidewalks this winter. How does this change past practices?
Well, we're hoping to sign you and the rest of the crew up, Brooke, after today. Before in Marysville, when budgets were, when money was good, I should say, our DPW staff would go around and do the sidewalks for the residents. I think we were probably the only city in the state that did that. We don't have the luxury of that now. But our mayor and council, especially with students coming to the high school and the middle schools, want the sidewalks shoveled. So we've kind of enacted an ordinance to make it mandatory that within a 24-hour period to shovel your sidewalk. And if you need help, if you need assistance, to call City Hall. We've signed up about a dozen volunteers, some businesses, Shirky Electric, I tip my hat to them. And we'll come out to your house and we'll shovel.
And what can the elderly do if they can't shovel their sidewalks?
Well, again, that's where you call City Hall. 364-6613. And Ann Eisen, who heads up our rec department, she's in charge of that. And she's a volunteer, I'm a volunteer. Mike Bugyan, council's a volunteer. I mentioned Shirky Electric and their staff's a volunteer. And someone within a day will come out and help shovel your sidewalk.
How can you sign up to volunteer for this program?
Well, again, if you call Marysville City Hall, specifically the rec department, Ann Eisen at 810-364-6613, she'll sign you up.
And can you tell us about what other departments the funds go towards?
Well, again, most of our money, as I mentioned earlier, comes from taxpayer dollars. And then everybody has a budget. In fact, we're preparing budgets right now. Well, we've already had one budget hearing with the City Council. We'll have about 6 more before they adopt a budget in May. Our fiscal year runs July 1 to June 30th of each year. So everybody's sharpening their pencil, so to speak, on their budgets.
Has the state of Michigan sent their budgets to send money to the city?
Well, we get some revenue sharing money. Revenue sharing's been down over the last few years. If you've been following the papers, though, the state does have a surplus this year, and we believe we're going to get about 15% more money than we received last year.
That's very interesting. We need to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Welcome back. We're sitting here with City Manager Mr. Fernandez. We're going to talk a little bit about the companies around Marysville.
Sure, great.
What companies contribute largest to the tax base in this time?
Well, we rely on a lot of good companies here, and we're very fortunate that they reside in Marysville. A few that come to mind are SMR on Boucher Highway. They're expanding. They have about 300 employees, and they're going to almost double that workforce in the next couple of years. ZF, which is took over the Chrysler plant, also just off of Boucher Highway. They've gone to 3 8-hour shifts. They're even looking to expand. They just had a job fair about a year ago, and they asked people to show up no earlier than 11 o'clock. And the cars were down the road at 4 a.m. in the morning for that many jobs. So they're 2 of our largest. Intertape Polymer has just expanded with 50 engineering jobs. So those are 3 that come to mind, along with Marysville Hydrocarbons. But again, we're fortunate, whether it's a party store or a gas station. We need more restaurants in Marysville, so we'd like to try to attract those. So we're pro-business, and we welcome everyone, and we're very fortunate for the ones that we have.
And I know we're always looking for more business, so can you tell us, are there any new companies looking to move into Marysville?
Well, I have a meeting today about a microbrewery. You're a little young for that, but that would be good. Microbreweries are the wave of the future, it looks like, around the state. So we've got that. Our big thing is the Detroit Edison site. The Detroit Edison plant, Mighty Marysville as it once called. In fact, it's on the front page of today's paper. Is going to be torn down by a company out of St. Louis. There's over 20 acres of land there. We close our eyes and kind of dream what could be there: a casino, a water park, condominiums, a downtown. We don't have a downtown in Marysville. Could that be there? So we hope to attract developers to that site, and really that is our future. We need a tax base and we need more jobs, and we hope to make that happen.
What would you like to see go up there?
Well, in a perfect world, it would be a casino, probably. A casino, a water park, a hotel, and restaurants, I think, would make Marysville a destination.
How does St. Clair County Economic Development help bring new business to Marysville?
Well, the EDA, as it's called, its own separate entity. It's a public-private partnership, so it has a lot of municipalities are join it as well as private businesses. Let's use SMR as an example. SMR is going for a couple tax abatements. The EDA will make that presentation. They help them fill out the forms. Those jobs I talked about could have went to Mexico or Alabama.
Yeah.
So the EDA worked with the state of Michigan to keep SMR here. So the EDA just is a vital organization. You know, I have a background in that, but let's say I didn't. I don't really have any staff that knows about that. I don't have the funds to hire anybody. So we all pay a little bit of dues, and the EDA is really the economic driver for our county.
Now you mentioned the waterfront. The council has made the River Road and waterfront a top priority. What additions and improvements will the residents see this next year?
Well, we just finished a $1.8 million riverfront restoration project just down the street from the golf course there. The seawall had bowed out. That's all fixed now, and there's a boardwalk there to walk over. And we received another $750,000, and we repaired toward the south, past the golf course down River Road, the one-way there. That got repaired. We have another $500,000 that'll be starting in April toward Chrysler Beach improvements. We have a geese problem down there on the beach, and we're trying to get rid of the geese. So we're going to plant some tall grass down there. That supposedly they don't like tall grass. We also received another $240,000 recently from the state back in December, and so you're going to see some picnic tables. And we're going to fix the boat launch and the seawall down there, better parking. It's really, if you haven't been down there, you know, come this summer, it's really going to transform itself.
It would be very nice to get rid of the geese, too.
You need to get rid of the geese.
Yes.
I have my own ideas, but they're not legal. So,
How long do you think this project will take?
Well, we're always looking for funds. You know, we've already finished River Road. We finished the $1.8 million. We've got $500,000 starting in April. The other 240 will probably start in July. We should hear about another couple $100,000 in April for, we'd like to put a fishing pier out there as well. So we're doing a lot for the boaters, the fishing community, and you know, it's a never-ending project. We'll always hunt for funds, but within the next 12 months, you'll definitely see a difference down near Chrysler Beach.
Can you tell us what matching grants mean?
Well, what matching grants mean, I think I mentioned a little earlier in the broadcast that it's like 20 cents on the dollar. You apply for these grants, and most of them have a 20% match, which means for every dollar you chip in 20 cents. So on the one I mentioned, the $1.8 million, it was for $1.5 million. Our 20% match was $300,000, which made it a $1.8 million project. We wouldn't have the funds to do it without you know, for us only having to put 20 cents on the dollar. It's great.
How much say will the city of Marysville have in determining the future development of the Detroit Edison site?
Well, like I said, it's on the front page of today's paper, and I'm quoted in there saying it's going to have a lot of say. We're going to work lockstep with this company because we don't want it to be a landfill. We don't want it to be, you know, would you like a garbage dump there? You know, we don't want that. We're going to work with this company to make sure that we get jobs, that we get a tax base. We don't need any more schools or churches down there. We want a tax base, so we don't need any nonprofits, unfortunately. But you know, I think the better question is for the youth and others in Marysville. You know, what do they want to see? And they should come to a council meeting or talk to the mayor and council or myself on their vision. What is their vision for the future of Marysville?
Well, we'll be rooting for that casino.
There you go.
We need to take another quick break. We'll be back after this.
Some dreams are universal. Dreams that inspire us. Multiple sclerosis is a devastating disease that changes lives forever. The National MS Society does more for people with MS than any organization in the world. But we can't do it alone. To get involved, visit us online at nationalmssociety.org or call 1-800-FIGHT-MS. This is why we're here. Because nobody dreams of having multiple sclerosis.
Is that thing getting closer? Look how high that thing's going. Look out there, look at the debris.
Give me the camera.
No, just drive, I've got it.
Zoom in, zoom in.
I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, the size of that thing.
It's everywhere.
Are you getting this?
Yeah, I've got it. What was that?
It's the National Guard.
How'd they get here so fast?
I don't know.
Pull over, pull over.
Do you have what it takes to head into the heart of the storm? Check out NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back. Mr. Fernandez, can you tell us about some of the updates or how the Recreation Department programs are going in general?
Well, again, Ann Eisen's getting busy for the summer season. She's been our rec coordinator now for a number of years, does a great job. You know, we use your Marysville pool a lot here.
Yeah.
Marysville's a big swimming community, and a lot of our stuff is over here. We have a reciprocal agreement with Marysville, just like the Marysville girls and boys golf team use our golf course for free, so it's a reciprocal agreement. So Ann's coming up with a lot of new programs. The one we just had, which is always sold out, is the daddy-daughter dance. That always, you know, gets fills up and enjoyable down in our old community center, which is the old fire station. So, you know, the residents should be looking for in the newsletter shortly some of the new programs that are coming out by Ann.
And have we seen an increase in residents using these programs?
We have, you know, we have a big senior population, so about 35% of the population here is seniors. So we're looking at some programs, whether it's you know, cooking or you know, 55 and over softball or something like that. We're always looking for new ideas to help our seniors, because it's you know, we always think about the youth in the programs, but you know, we want to get to all our residents. Unfortunately, you know, in the past years, it's always been free.
Yeah.
And, you know, the last couple of years, we've had to charge $5, now maybe $10. But the programs, we don't need to make a profit at the city, but we need to break even as close as we can. Most rec programs don't break even. Ours doesn't either. But it's an asset to the area. Marysville's big, you know, with all the sports teams. Marysville's known, you know, for sports and things of that nature. So we run a great athletic program through our rec department, and we'll continue to do so.
Now, I know I need a job, but will the rec department be hiring students like it has in the past
Yeah, you
years?
should probably call Ann,
Yeah.
again, 364-6613, and ask for Ann's department. I think we'll be putting out an ad here real soon for the rec department, for DPW, part-time help at the golf course, and who knows, minimum wage might be going up, so who knows what people will be making this summer. So,
You mentioned the Marysville Golf Course. Has the council department determined new rates for the golf membership and fees?
well, they have, and I brought them, and I left them in my car. You were going to put those up, but they went up about 8%, the membership rates. We have the lowest membership rates probably in the state of Michigan, definitely in the county, for a public golf course, for an 18-hole public golf course. There's nowhere around that you can be a member if you're a Marysville resident at the rates that we have, other than if you were playing a 9-hole golf course. Brian Lentz, our golf superintendent, a few years ago, people would say that the golf course was a dog patch. It's not a dog patch anymore. He does a great job. So again, rates were raised about 8%. We're trying to get a liquor license for the golf course. I had a meeting this week. I can't announce who, but someone might want to put a restaurant down at the golf course in the next couple of years. And that's what we need. We need to bring in more revenue. If we have a restaurant, if we have alcohol, that brings in more golf events. And without that, we lose them to other courses.
The Marysville Cemetery is one of the finest in the Blue Water area. Are there any new developments being planned?
Well, I would agree with that. I had dinner at Texas Roadhouse just last week, and I ran into Alan Jowett, who lives in Marysville, of Jowett Funeral Home. And I just stopped by, and him and his wife were having a steak, and he took me aside and said, Randy, the Marysville Cemetery is probably the best cemetery I've ever been to in the state of Michigan ever. So we've just increased our columbarium. It seems like most of the people that pass away in their wills anymore, they want to be cremated. So we've had to increase our columbarium because of that, and that'll help there. But we have a great cemetery, a great columbarium, and demand is exceeding supply, and that's why we had to build onto it.
Now, Mr. Rubel and his staff have been active in ensuring our residents have clean and safe water. I saw some construction equipment near the filtration plant recently. What is being done at this building?
Mr. Rubel takes all our money. Okay, all the money goes to the water department. They've had multi-million dollars, I think over, I want to say 50, but it might be 5, but millions of dollars have been put in to increase water capacity. We redid our intake valves, put in a new, it's called a vacuum, recomputerized the system to bring it up to state-of-the-art in 2014, and that work continues. So it's, I think it's over $50 million that we've put into the water plant. It helps with water quality. As you know, we residents here don't have meters. They get billed every 6 months. Most communities have meters. So if you have a large family here, it probably pays to live in Marysville. If it's just 1 or 2, I'm not too sure. But Mr. Rubel does a great job, and our equipment's going to be brought up to state-of-the-art.
Now, hopefully summer is coming up here fast, and that means the Marysville Days Festival time. The Times-Herald recently had a story about the Lions Club planning a few new events. Can you update us on that?
Well, Lucy DeLine heads that up. In fact, I have a meeting with Lucy next Tuesday with the mayor and her staff to go over Marysville Days. We're going to have a parade. I think that's on Wednesday, June 18th. So we're going to have a parade this year. I think they're going to try to bring in a better quality carnival type of thing. We're going to try to bring in some bands, I think, there. There's going to be a 5K race, I think. And a few other surprises. So it's in the works, and if anybody would like to help with Marysville Days, they should call Lucy DeLine.
I'm looking forward to it. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the Marysville viewers?
Well, again, the only thing I would share is that the mayor, council, all of us at the city work very hard, for our residents. Our council meetings are every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 if they'd like to stop in. But our doors are always open. And again, I truly believe with our police department, our fire department, our DPW, we have the best in the county, if not the best in the state. Our employees care, and I think that's all you can ask for.
Well, thank you for sharing such great information with us, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Brooke.
This has been Student Connections on M6, your hometown station.